How does it look, guys? Am I set up well? You want to know how my weekend's going? First of all, I'm not even sure at what time I start the weekend. Because since I have it in my head today that on this weekend, I will put on my tallis tonight and my kippah and stay home all night with MrTacpans. Right, MrTacpans? You're only showing your numbers right now? Why does everything look upside down? 98 5L. What do you mean 5L? What does 5L mean? It actually means 5 times the letter L equals 60. Oh, wait a second. That's the same number as number 4. F-O-U-R, 6, 15, 21, 18. That equals 60. Wait a second. Take God out of it. That'll only equal 6. Wait a second. Put man's face or the letter F, and that's a 6. Why don't we just take 2 times 3 or CNC, command the creative the creation? That'll make 6. And the best 6 of them all is Mercury all the way to Jupiter. But Jupiter is only needed. That's how it starts when my yellow sunlighter is gone. I'm back into the rope backs. Would you rather see me talk like this? Would you rather, you ever look at my lips? Just watch my lips. Watch how fast I'm going to talk. I'm not going to make any sound, but I'm going to do a regular talk. But where did we go? So the place when we started coming back from behind the house, there was actually 2 angles. And on that side of the 2 angles was 4 more. Why is my voice cutting out? Must be something wrong. Maybe I'm losing part of the stretch. Today and yesterday, chemtrails all over the place. I live north of Montreal, about 75 kilometers. Okay. Chemtrails yesterday all day. And I look at one of the guys I work with, and he looks at me. He goes, "It's a nice sunshine today." I go, "It sure is." I says, "You see the moon in the sky?" He says, "No, I don't see it." I says, "That moon is almost maybe whatever I can see as far into the sky. I was able to see the moon yesterday. And today the moon was gone. And it should have been there again. But they clouded it up. Today they must have sent over 150 jets into the air all day long, spreading the crisscross of the chemtrails. Now I am included in northern Quebec, north of Montreal. We have chemtrails in the sky, and not one person where I was today at work or anywhere I went even noticed a thing. The question is, are the chemtrails there to hide part of the system matrix? You see, the evil really want the chemtrails there, and they're going to use it in their evil ways. But maybe God put that in the Bible, that we're supposed to have chemtrails just in case the end of the matrix strands start to show and the ships start to show up. But that's supposed to happen anyways. They're supposed to see it. They're showing up because it's all in the manuscript. Well, where is the manuscript? Hold on a second. In God's first world, on one layer. Here's a world on one layer. Where's the manuscript? Where is it? Hold on a second. I didn't see this side before, but I saw this side. But it's the opposite of this side. So one would be Mars, and the other one would be Saturn. Here the cover is up. Therefore, the angle of view is actually pitched. If the angle was down, we can see right across, and that's why I was able to see the moon. But we're in a shutter. It's a shutter world that we are in. They shut and they move. The same way the eye in astronomy and the eye moves, the same way the shutters on your windows to block out the light, the same way I see this world of MrTacpans. Why did God have to do that? Because he did everything he had to do. Where is space? Space is always usually notified to be the center of everything would be the rabbit hole. And then the space would be 8, because it would flux out in 8 45-degree angles, because it's the 45-degree angle. Okay, the 5 and 4, which actually says the two worlds, D and E. Put them together, it says day. In French, it means dice or cubes to throw. They also think of it as Opus Day. O-P-U-S. O-P-U-S. Pluto, Saturn, Uranus. In one word, Opus Day. The day of man, 4 and 5 is 9 for birth. One of the reasons is, if I can get a card, 4 corners. 1, 2, 3, 4. Same 4 corners. We've got one spade going in one direction and coming back to the same direction, but he's still going, you know what I'm saying? 4 corners. 1, 2, 3, 4. The 4 corners of this. Okay. This is basically the birth. This only shows up in the ace, the 5, and the 9. The jack, it doesn't show up because the jack is the whole of who the 9 birth is. The J shows up right after the 9 because the 10th letter is J. It means spirit omega, which might mean go from A to F, because A, B, C, D, and D has been complete. It seems like God gets 15. God is the first omega egg. Like when you use the word look, you've got 2 eggs. One is for God looking, and the other one is an okay look, because when you split it apart, that's what it says. But you think I'm just joking with you and just saying it's an okay look? Have you ever been look-keen? Hold on a second. Who is the king of the look? Just like seeing. I-N-G, K-I-N-G. K-I-N-G and K-I-S-S-I-N-G is because it's the birth of the spirit and the passage into this world. Okay, K is the 11th letter, 1 and 1 is 2. From both worlds, the mother and the father, present in one. They present in one. If you ever look at a K, it's a V with a 1 next to it. I told you. I'm telling you. This is the stick, my friends. There's 2 of them. When you have 2 of them, you get the letter M. If you put 1 on each side, you really don't have much more than a story of just telling what you see. When man holds one, his angel holds the other one. Okay? And they're crossed. We cross many things in our life. The things we don't really cross too much is our waist. Our waist really doesn't cross anything. Unless you take out your hand and you want to cross yourself. Well, that'd be a different story. And then if you hang out the cross in front of you, well, then you'd be standing in front of the cross. Don't beat around the bush. Of course not. You may as well get yourself a beautiful woman and beat around with her bush. And then again, why am I talking like this right now? I've got a lot of these stupid mails in my box. Meet this and meet that, and I just saw your picture. I says, holy shit, I've been looking at my face a long time. I says, girl, you better keep on looking if you really want to learn who I am, because I just started to understand who I want to be. I am a person in this world that was, but I am no more. At least I hope not. But it's not really a hope, and it's not a wish. It's a want to be in the world of the cane. The candy cane. In the time of Moses, they called it his rod, his shaft. This was the shaft of Moses. It was a pretty big shaft. He held it up and it ate 2 snakes. Moses' shaft ate 2 shafts of Pharaoh. Yes, that's me in the background, behind. Well, you don't see what's going on, eh? This is my arm, and this is me. And in one word, it's my army. My arms are my helpers. My legs are my walkers. They crisscross at the kneecap every single time they seem to pass. And then a shock goes through my knee. When you're harnessed to the cross, the element and power of the Christ, the yellow universe that hides behind the sun, with it the energy of God, in Mercury as well as in the sun. Why do you think Mercury doesn't have a moon? Because Mercury doesn't need a moon. Mercury does all its work inside the sun. And Venus, she takes from Mercury. Whatever Venus wants, she just tells Mercury and sets it inside the sun. And then the sun sets it upon the earth. And then sets it upon man. Our electronic bodies, our electronic brains, all put together. So our bodies live through the night, through every night, one at a time. What does the body know? Does the body know to say, hey, heart, you're going to have a heart attack? Who knows first about whose heart is going to have what attack? Right now we're going to get back into the letter M and the two sticks on the letter M. E-M, E-N with another stick. E-S, but the stick is like a C. Have you ever really taken apart the alphabet? The C can actually be like a U, as an N, small, can also be like a U. As the H put together can also be like a U. As two U's can look like an omega egg. Two U's, 21st and 21st letter, is 42, and that is the angel number. I give you any number you want, in any language. I will try. What don't I know? I don't know anything at all, because whatever I have said is past. It is a hypothesis of a thought, although it does wind up in the right area of numbers. I am so close to perfectioning the balance of my numbers. Like I said, let me put down this rod. The 9 and the ace and the 5 have this. No other card. This is what they call the one spirit of 8. This is the reason for 9 and 9 or 6, or 9 and 9 as I and I, or double that for 18 chai. Because when you have the luck in one world, we're not playing with one world. We're playing with 4 worlds. Do you notice the last one has to be in the thumb? There's only 3 worlds here in our fingers. And what the thumb actually holds, what does the thumb hold in connection? And the pinky. I mean, it's almost down near the bottom. I mean, because the card is just a little bit longer than the pinky. And the second card, look, this finger sticks out, this finger sticks out. And when I put it in this finger sticks out. This pinky. Let's try the last one. I see somebody in the background looking on in and saying, hey, why don't you put one by the thumb and let's see what happens. Take one by the thumb. The thumb does not pass. The pinky does not pass. But the other 3 do. Fingers number 2, 3, and 4. Unless you want to start from this side. Well, we would go 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, and then we would get that one. So everybody wants to know where all the zeros comes from? There's a place to feel. Wherever there's a place to feel, it's considered an egg. Because ABC does not have 4 corners. So we're going to take ABC and we're going to throw it away. Replace it with 7, 8, 9. 8 and 2 have something that are in common which create a 10, 10. But their level of the middle placement of their images are different. It's down. Is it down a half a level or a whole level? Did it move down to Jupiter or is it over by Neptune? But now I've seen differences. Sorry to jump off. We now must do what? Remove the first one? Do we remove the last one? What does it mean? What does it mean? This is the reason for the letter B. What do you mean, what does it mean? Once I turn in this number, okay, these 2 worlds come together and have a freedom. I do it on this side. Now we have more space. Do you follow me? Now we can fit the hands together. Now we shimmed everything together. Now we've got the two parts of one world. I don't know exactly how it happens, but those cards are just not cards. They might be electrons carrying over some sort of whatever it is from Venus or from Neptune or from whatever the planets, because it took all those planets that you see in space to create Earth. We used every single one of those planets to create Earth. And we used every single one of those moons. God has something on hand. He has it on hand. He has it prepared. He knows when it's going to break. He's not sure the exact time, but he's always prepared that everything works in Trinity. One of the ways God does things for preparing, he shoves a post in here, and he shoves a post in here, and he shoves a post in here. Doesn't matter which one breaks, okay? There would be 3 of these all the way around. Doesn't matter if one breaks. There's already 3 other ones with posts on each side turning the guide. It wouldn't matter. One breaks automatically in the same hole. Even if it breaks, it's like a pencil, but it sharpens itself. Okay? It's the same way with time. Okay? That I did a little bit of extra work on a crop circle, and I saw something that it seems like it might break off, because the movement of this Earth might be working just on the force of the gravitational pull alone, and some sort of triangular shape that would hold a weight in it, that would also create the Magen David, look like an X and an hourglass at the same time, and it can slide over to the next section 72 times a day, every 5 minutes. Because every 5 minutes, right, we move 1.25 degrees, right? But I'm not sure if we move that whole cycle, okay, because the complete cycle would be 2.25 degrees. Now, I can't exactly explain what it is. I don't know if it comes by 1 degree and then 1.25 degrees. One of the reasons for the 1 degree even is because it's in a 10-10 world. And the other reason for a 0.25 degrees, that's the movement on this Earth. And it's 5 minutes by 5 is 0.25. 1 line 5, 2 lines 5, 5 by 5 is 25 is the amount, and the third line is 125. And those are the 3 crosses they have in a crop circle that I did. And that's for the, how can I say it? First of all, it represents the 9 card. Okay. Does it represent the 9 card? The 8, the 9, 9 quarters. 9 quarters, yes. Yes, it represents the 9 card. Anyways, wherever I was and I lost myself, you have to know the Canadian change we have in our pocket is 41 cents. Okay? 41. What's the similarities? If we would just add a 1. What if I just add that little 9? Let me see this for a second. What do we see here? Wait a second. What have we just... Oh, I put that behind the wrong card. Look, you see you got a 4, you got a 5 and a 5. So you have so what you actually do is you got a 4, okay? This is delta 4 or B4, whichever one you want to call it. This is B4. And this is 5. But this one, right, what happens, okay? Let me see this for a second. Hey, don't tell me something's going to fall on the floor. Oh, no. Okay. Okay. So we got 2 cards, okay? One is the 4, one is the 5. Okay, but if you want to talk about the 4, that 4 that you see is the 1 spirit of 4. It is the beta angle of 4, because it's the 4 card. It's the beta angle of 4, meaning that the dot is in the 7, or the spirit angle of 4, excuse me. And this one over here is the spirit angle, okay? So 1 spirit angle of 5. This is the 1 spirit angle of 4. Okay, because it doesn't come with the cards. It takes from 2 cards. And this would be the 1 spirit angle of 5. And if you look at these 3 cards, 5 and 4 is 9, and I didn't do this purposely. okay? And 9 is the birth, and 5 is Jupiter, and 4 is the delta Mars angle. If we flip the 9 upside down, again, we have Saturn. I don't have any card that says Earth, unless you're looking at the 3 card, when, yes, I made a mistake. The 3 card also has the center. In fact, the 1, 3, and 5 and 9 all go together. When you put 1, 3, and 5 together, it says ace. When you put 135 degrees together, you get a birth. When you put 135 degrees together, you get the 7th gate. When you've got the movement in 1, you've got the movement now in 4. Automatic. 2 and 2. One goes up, the other one goes down. That's one world. Now, the minute the needle turns, you know, it goes down here, it goes up there. That's the other world. So 1, 3, 5, and 9. Just like I said, the birth. Because the 135 degrees ends up where the 9 is on your telephone. So, how do we see this? The cards match the birth? It's insane. It's totally insane. Now the 7, okay, actually creates the 8. I'm trying to just look for something over here. Let me see what's in my junk box over here. Yeah, here it is. It's too bad I just can't find it all right away. You know what I'm saying? Let's tell you the last one is this one. Right now, this is what's happening. This is the game card. This is 10, 10, 10, 10. Or whatever. Let me hold it this way. Okay? There's nothing in the center over here. But man's in the center over here because he's number 11. Okay? But he becomes automatically the jack. And there is no direct direction for him because he's not a card. He's just not an element of the part. Don't forget, man, not only is he heart, okay, but he is life. So he must take up another card. 10 only explains man and the 2 stories of 5 and 5. Okay? It does not tell the final story of 6 and 5, the wolf, the Mediterranean, the Baltic, the chemtrails in the sky right now. Were they told to do it? Anyways, let me look. Here's the 8. Here's the 3. See the way the 3 goes right in the middle? You see? This is Venus, and this is Venus. Right there. Right here. Venus. Okay? And then it drops down. Let me see, how high is this card? It drops down, you see? This one is supposed to be Jupiter. Okay? But it's right above here. Jupiter's here. So this is not a planet at all. This is one of the rabbit holes. The same thing for this one. If it goes over here, okay, then wouldn't Jupiter be here? Or wouldn't Jupiter be more over here? Again, if it's not Jupiter, it's a rabbit hole. Why is it a rabbit hole? Because all around the horn in baseball, when they throw that ball, they're throwing it all around the horn. The lamb, the ewe, the sacrificed lamb, they threw it around the horn. We're in the middle, my friends. That's where the heaven is, right in here. Goes all around that. That's the reason for the 8 card. You see, it takes all 4 7 cards to do properly for the rabbit hole. The 7th gate may just be Alice in Wonderland. Have you ever put ears on your head and try to see what's out there? The cat is a communication angle of transmission. The dog and God go backwards walking down the street. And in Monopoly, they got a dog. But it's okay. They couldn't have a cat in Monopoly because it'd be the Lion King. Then we wouldn't be able to have the old leather shoe. Shoo, said the moosh. Go away, my fly, and don't fly away too high because then you'll die. You'll touch the sky, and then you'll fall, and then you'll cry and say, why did I go so high? So take it slow before you go. Don't rap so much. Keep in touch. Keep the angle on the right guide. Don't run away and hide. It's not the rhyming, my friends. It's the putting whatever you want together. Which cards do you want? We know what the 3 does. We know what the 2 and the 3, they're just replicas of each other. This is just the two worlds joining together. And then what happens, okay, is you see the 5 world over here? Before we got the 5 world, we slipped the 5 world on top of the 3. Okay, well, we can't do it on the 3, and we'll do it on an ace, because all you have to do is now, in creation, these are the first 2. Okay, in creation, you know why these are the first 2? Because it comes after the creation, comes after the 3. 45, if I'm right, belong to God. It says F-O-X. Why? Because F the 6th letter, O the 15th letter, and X the 24th letter. Okay, say Fox. Total's 45. Omega, omega, omega equals 45. 9 by 5 equals 45. But 5 is only half. There's 4 suits. We got a total of 180. And we only added them up. So where are we going to go next? Pi. Yes, creation. Creation of 3.14. 15. 1415. Okay, now they're missing the 3 and the 2. So what comes after 15? 9, 2. 3 by 3 is 9. Well, it has to be 3 by 3. The 3 can't come into this game just like that, because it's creation, it said. Pi said 3. 9, 2 is 3 by 3. You have 9. 3 by 2. You have 6. Now you have the birth of 9, man of 6. 9 and 6 is 15. 15 equals the letter O, which is omega. 1 and 5 letter equals 6, equal to the letter F. Now, if you remove the letter E from this world and the letter F, you end up on the other side of A, so you would have to put on omega there. And now, would that be a J1 omega? Because there's a skip in the alphabet somewhere. I'd like to know where. Just thought of that. Something wrong with the alphabet. Sure is. My name is MrTacpans. And if I say there's a mistake, there's a mistake. Why do I seem to be so confident about everything and everywhere and whatever I do? Well, it's pretty simple. It's a goddamn TV show. Just say what the hell you want as long as you feel good, green and red. Green with life, and red never to envy one. Why not to envy one? Well, that would be to take away a life. N, passage, 1 and 4 is 5. And V, 22, 4, 9, to take the passage of 4. Anyways, it doesn't really matter. Man basically, I think, is this in heaven and this. This is man in heaven. I'm guessing. Because actually our avatar number down here is 5. But down here, we're at 2 and 3, 5 on the dice. Now up there, we might just be 1 dice, because it might just be A, B, C, D, and the Jackson 5s were right, all about creation of 5, right? Because it was the Jackson 5s. Anyways, we're going to end it right here. Thank you very much for everybody who participated. If there's something you want to see, just tell me, send me a mail, comment on me. Tell me how shrewd and crude, tell me how rude, tell me how I'm good. But just don't tell me one thing. This is Father's Day, my friend. This is Father's Day. I know I don't have off on Monday, but I've got, let me tell you one thing, man. Look, hey, my books, they're stuck together. Look at all those squares. Look at all those squares. You see, for me, it doesn't matter what the size, as long as they're all equal to each other. Because I know if I draw anything on an angle from here to here, it's going to take up a certain more space than if I drew it straight across. Right? I got to figure out exactly what the angle is and how much space that angle will take off. I was told, okay, it must be measured, okay, by 22.5 degrees is man standing and living, right? But a square world, okay, is not that 22.5 degrees, it's 45 degrees, okay, to have 6 basics of axis, because this is a 10, 10, 10, 10, 10, 10, 10 world to create the 60. And, well, it goes up higher than that because of the pregnancy, the birth, and the passage, and the whole bit. And the golf balls that end up going into the air, they got to raise the ceiling a little bit. God's a little pissed off about that, you know. You know why there's so many black holes they found lately? They weren't black holes, okay? They were black golf balls hiding in the sky. Every time they say you got a birdie, the ball was so embarrassed that he killed so many birdies that he decided not to fall down from heaven again. And that birdie is God, because he's got the biggest wings around. All he has to do is suck in and turn us off. He can do what he wants. But I do not think he would ever do that, because this is a game. He knows it's a game, you know. It's a sad game. It's one of his sadder of all games, you know. But we're in this game, and I don't know what I'm going to go do next, but I'm going to do something. Maybe I should just wash my hands. I'm a 21-year-old single male making $155,000 a week. I've got gold stored in my closets, in my shoes, in my hands. I never get dirty at all. Never get dirty at all. And you know what? I always like to raise my fingers into the sky. You know why? You ever see these fingers? Look at this hand. Look, watch this, watch this. Why does it do that? I'm going to hold it. Okay, I'm going to hold them up, right? You see that? You see that? Now, I'm going to hold my book against it. Okay, now watch. Watch as I bring down. They never stay up. Does somebody have an answer for me? I want to know why my fingers never stay up. Especially only when I ask. When I ask, they do anything I want. Hey, finger, what you doing? You staying up there for me? You staying up there for me? Right on, baby. I've got one on my side. Shh, he's sleeping. Maybe we should wake him up last. He sleeps a long time, this finger. He's in the middle. He's always up this territory of Schitt's Creek. So this big one in the middle sleeps. The tall one usually sleeps a little bit longer. Come on, sleepy giant. Oh, hey, he woke up my friend. He was down here before. Hey, now he's stuck. I think they're married. Look at that. It's even the ring finger. It's stuck, and he's falling down again. Wait, now he went down. Okay, I've got him under control. But look how much this one raised already. Well, I've been making a lot of noise. Shh. Now we're going to lift them up. There you go. Oh, that's it. It doesn't go anymore. Do you know why? Do you know who the boss is? This little guy down here. If when I put this guy up, he goes straight up. In fact, this is a ring finger. I think this finger's a girl. And this is a pin key, so he can stick it anywhere. Come on, pin key. Let's see what happens. Ah, you see? Look at that. Look at that. Oh, he's hiding. He's shy again. He's always shy. I can put all three of my fingers together, and the shy one over here, come on, never likes to be seen in public. You know why? Because, you know, this is all he can do with his finger. Like, it's like, hey, this is my finger. It's the fifth one. Do you know why this finger's like this? Because number 5 is the center, number 5 of your telephone. It's centered to everything, so it doesn't matter. It's a one-way toilet, okay? It doesn't matter if you're girl, guy, or whatever it is, you sit on number 5's face, okay? Because that basically is the passage of the 7th gate. How she opens and closes her doors, I'm not quite sure. I'm slowing my studies. I'm afraid to get sick because it's been getting intense and insanely fantastic. So I'm going slow because there's two things that's going to happen. A, I'm going to run into a brick wall that was fabricated for me, or B, I'll create my own brick wall. I said, so in order to not run into the brick wall and to create my own brick wall, I just didn't want to have my own and created cement shoes at the same time. So I'm trying to be a little bit more online on how I give the lowdown on the book with no name, freeing the myth of Zazareth, trying to understand why Opus Dei. What is Opus Dei? It is the day of Pluto. O is Omega's day of Pluto. Pus is Pluto and the spirit of the 6 islands, talking about who, why is God all of a sudden, does he have to take 6? Because man has moved up a level. Man, like I said, goes to 10. The group is born at 9, looks at 10, and automatically he's at 6. Go figure. I won't put it in on this little telethon I'm going right now with the camera and the scope from YouTube. Hey YouTube, anybody going to watch me in this video? Probably not. I'm going to tell you one thing, YouTube. This is what you got to know. It's between me and you. Yeah, you in the background. Yes! Dragon, Mr. Tube. I started calling him the Tube because he's in every single video. I never seen, you know what? He'd be the greatest audience for anybody. He's been in my last 150 videos. He's still red in the face, still bent over. No problem. Says nothing to me. It's not bothering any of you. Maybe he'll come bother you tonight. But he wants to be seen by more people. And when the dragon speaks, the mind, not your minds, but I'm presuming, how many minutes in this video? How many minutes in this video? 36? No, this is not a good video to get a lot of hits. 36 minutes out of every American would probably cost them over $6 million in salary just watching one video of mine. I'd be a loss to every company. Would that be insane? If everybody starts watching my videos at every single company with millions of people all over, they'd be losing hundreds of millions of dollars. I'd be insanity against them. They'd have to get rid of me for sure. But watch out. I hold the wand. The wand that was passed down from the times of Moses. Thus, this one came out of a tree down near my place. Funny how Moses sent me his wand through a growing tree that sort of died just at the right time so I can get my hands on it. Created into a good piece of wall, siding on a wall, but they made an error and sent it over to where I found them. And I have taken home some sticks. These are the spirit sticks. They say the years. Do you want to hear something about the Mayan 50? The Yovel years of 50 years. 7 by 7 is 49. 7 and 7 is 14. 14 says the 49th year is the year of Pass. And that's why they celebrate Yovel, the Omega life, in the life of the electronic world of whoever we may be. Maybe in our next life, we may meet with the stick again. Maybe we'll be inside the video world and we'll all be cartoon characters for maybe 20 years, and we'll see how we like that. Where nothing has any taste anymore. Although you get to sleep with the girl, you don't know what the hell you're really doing more than just moving. That's all. The stroke of the ocean is only by the Creator and whatever elements He put in for what we shall and how feel. This is the world of the magic wand. This is the world of the fleur-de-lis. You know what the biggest thing about this world is? And nobody ever seems to find it. Let me find it over here. It's all about this. Except there's another one. Hold on a second. It's all about this. 2 teardrops flowing next to each other, trying to keep the you know what I'm saying? Just keep floating on over each other. Okay, I've done enough. Do you see, my videos are actually never long enough. And the reason for say so that it is, that I think, is because this is not just a video. It's a book, like I said before. This is to free the myth of Zazareth. This is to understand how all the letters in the alphabet will create you a kitchen table. Well, of course, if you have a line in every direction, but no, we don't build them that way. We build them by the blueprints of expression, and that's by taking certain letters, writing a name out, and seeing what those letters do. And don't forget, there's more than one way to write. So it might take a long time before you find one word. But when you do find that one word, you'll get so excited from what you built inside and from that word that you know forever and ever there's going to be more and more and more. And that's when you start to fall in love with the understanding of seeing deeper inside reality, where reality is truth, where truth is because of the 10 Commandments. It's the way I see it. I'm just going to leave one little hole open just in case, that I can come back right to the top in case I get stuck. But this is a Jew world, 100%. I can prove it in numerology, but it has nothing to do with religion and the Jewish people. It has to do with Jupiter. It has to do with Uranus. It had to do with the letter M and the McDonald's sign. It has to do with the rotation. It has to do the electronic world and why the letter E and what the letter E does. You know, we have to see more. Once we start to learn that there's really something else, then we're going to go on and we're going to question still. We're going to say, well, yeah, it all seems to be real, but maybe just we've hit something where it's something in designs and measurements that we never thought of before. That's the way they'll look at it, right? But I only found it because of what I didn't know. I saw a letter, I made the shape of the letter, I put that shape next to another letter, and I says, okay, just like the letter Y. The letter Y has one stick. It has part of the letter M and one stick and part of the letter V, but not actually. Check out the Y that you have, because certain Ys will not create the letter V, because some are 45 openings, and some are just not the same size, like the N has a flat back wall and then a V. What if you made the A that way? Because they did make it that way. They went around when they did things, and all these letters, basically, I see these letters on churches all the time when they're making the cathedral going around. It all looks like aces at the top. You know what I'm saying? It's that simple. If God started, okay, with what? Let's say God started with 36 aces. 36 aces are principal focal points. If 36 aces the way he went, did he go 6 by 6? Or 36 by 36 by 36. Which way did he go to create it? And then you go on. Did he use the 22.5 angle? Or did he use the 45-degree angle? Okay, I'm going to stop here. I'm trying to teach and I don't know myself. This is just a book, don't forget. It's only a book. It's not more than a book. That's all it is in a book. But do you want my opinion on the book? I think this is the most insane thing anybody has ever done in the history. Although many people have put together and made fun of the same thing, they have not actually says, okay, the whole thing fits together. And in my world, if you're a football fan, it's in my book. If I haven't got to it yet, it's because there's other things I'm doing. Everything is in the book. 6, 1, and 3, football, 6, 1, and 3. But Moses' laws are 6, 1, and 3. And in my book, I can tell you a detailed day to day for 10 days, 6, 1, and 3, hour to hour, minute to minute, second to second, and why. And what happens? You see, this year, 14 and 23, I think that September is on the 9th. September is the 9th month. And I think the holidays are on the 15th. Makes 24. So that is an Omega day. Okay, that's something is just going to be presented. It's just a regular Omega day. There's a presentation from the sky, but it's the Jewish holidays. And I usually don't like to enter situations like that. It's not that, but the next day, it's the 7th gate in the 9th month. Now that is rare. That is very rare this year. But in the Hebrew history, there's a lot of rare things that go on. But anyways, and for the fact, too, I'm going to shut this down. You see this? There's a pin missing on here. Okay? It's to draw a line. There's 2 elements on here. When you draw with 2 elements, okay, you can stretch out the other element only to a certain angle until it stops right here. You cannot do it more than here. So if you can't do it more than here, in order to come out from this corner, You see, because this has to pass, you automatically have to spread your angle. Otherwise your angle can be like this, but when this falls, it automatically has to go like that. Okay, now this goes up, okay, and it's on something else, and then this has to stop right here. Otherwise, it would be below the image. Okay, that's the way I think our sun works. You know what I'm saying? I think the sun and this whole planet doesn't actually. It's something. So like I said earlier on, something's wrong. Thank you, Raphael 7286 in the constellation of Pegasus. Thank you.